And then Cunningham gets into the face of DiJonai Carrington.
Punch in your face, okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro.
3 players for days, and every one of them took a hit to the face. At this point, this is no longer just a basketball story. It feels like a public safety warning. On August 8th, DiJonai Carrington clotheslined Sophie Cunningham during a fast break, leaving her with a bloody lip. The foul was upgraded to a flagrant ejection, and Carrington later posted white privilege from the locker room before telling reporters at Monday's press conference that it was never intentional. Then it happened twice more. 3 players struck in the face within 4 days. And now Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most physically dominant players in NBA history, is weighing in. The man who understands better than almost anyone what truly dangerous play looks like.
Here's the thing. Why is DiJonai Carrington even in this game? This all could have been avoided if the league suspended her, as they should have, for the flagrant 2 foul against Sophie Cunningham. But no, that never happened. Also, the league never did anything about the posting on social media after she was ejected. That's against WNBA policy.
The man who called Caitlin Clark the Real deal and acknowledged that players try to rough her up is watching everything unfold through the same lens as Clark fans across the country. Sophie Cunningham also made her position clear, saying biological men should not compete against biological women, and she was later clotheslined after speaking out.
DiJonai Carrington is looking around the room like, oh my God, I've never been in this much fire. I mean, it's getting so bad that now her endorsements are potentially about to pull out on representing DiJonai Carrington.
This just goes to show that DiJonai has no self-awareness in what's going on. DiJonai Carrington runs on threads immediately. White privilege at Indiana Fever. White privilege. You running around with blonde hair. It look like you trying to be white. It look like you trying to be a white girl. What are you talking about, white privilege? The white girl just got a technical foul for something she didn't even do. What are you talking about, white privilege, bro? This is why she should be banned from the league. They always run.
It states here, Reebok is reportedly dropping their endorsement for DiJonai Carrington after she attacked Sophie Cunningham. Let's go.
Then, just 4 days later, the same player who clotheslined her went back onto the court and struck 2 more players in the face during the same game without being ejected. Sophie Cunningham was right to raise concerns about protecting women in sports, and over those 4 days, DiJonai Carrington's actions only made that argument harder to ignore.
I tried to tell ya, I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. DiJonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week, in just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke, Mrs. Flagrant foul. I'm gonna grab your head, I'm gonna hit your head upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'm gonna pull your head.
Over the weekend, DiJonai Carrington became the center of controversy after delivering a hard foul on Sophie Cunningham. Carrington was given a flagrant 2 and ejected from the game following the play. The incident sparked plenty of discussion and debate, but it seems Carrington is not letting the controversy or the narrative surrounding it fade away.
I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
Cunningham was left with a bloody lip after hitting the floor and being unable to brace her fall. Once she got back up, she confronted Carrington directly, and a fan camera captured her saying 7 words, "Why the FK did you do that?" Cunningham insisted the foul was completely intentional, claiming Carrington did it because she wanted attention.
Punch in the throat, that could kill her, right? And the WNBA, right? The people that run that league, if you're DiJonai here and you have a foul like that, I don't want to hear about, okay, that's a flagrant 2 and you get this sort of fine. She should be suspended for the rest of the season.
At Monday's press conference, Carrington insisted the foul was never intentional, while her coach described it as simply a basketball play. The WNBA's silence on the incident allowed DiJonai Carrington to suit up that same night for the Chicago Sky against the Seattle Storm. There was no additional discipline and no official announcement. Just play on.
Say I am so fucking sick of the Indiana Fever and Sophie Cunningham I really, really mean it. And I really have been trying to just keep my mouth shut because the rabid ass, racist ass fan base makes it insufferable to actually talk about basketball with people, one, who know the game, who used to play the game, and understand sometimes things just happen in the game. DiJonai got ejected in the first quarter in the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. Sophie Cunningham went up for a layup. DiJonai went to block it, right? Flying in the air. When she went to smack, she missed the ball, hit Sophie's head. I have not played basketball since junior high. That happened to me before. But where I'm at now with it is, one, everything Sophie Cunningham does in the game is for social media. Everything she does in that game is for social media's response, no matter what. Why? Because she's a mid-ass player in the fucking league. And yes, I am a person who has not played basketball since junior high, but I can say she is a mid player in the league. Look at her stats, who understands that where her opportunity is being a social media meme, clip, soundbite. And she will do that by any means, because at this point, that's making her off-court money. What irritates me is, one, DiJonai getting the flagrant 2. I don't think that it should have been a flagrant 2 because the intent to hurt, I don't think that there was an intent to hurt. When you go up to block the ball, especially in a layup, sometimes that shit happens. However, what I'm going to talk about is the aftermath. Sophie getting up and getting in DiJonai's face, and you physically see DiJonai say, stop, stop, stop. With the public, the people who support Sophie Cunningham and the Fever, resulting in such blatant racism, in such social media attacks on any team, any player that is opposing the Fever, Sophie, Caitlin Clark, and especially being black, it results in such racism. Not only now are the players like, hey, I know if I'm going up against the Fever, and especially Sophie, Caitlin, I will take Lexi Hull out of this. Last season, we was getting close, Lexi. We was getting really close. I'll take her out of this equation now. But especially those two, the black players understand that if anything happens, even though it may be things that happen during the game, shit that is so normal to happen during the game, they know that they have racist attacks waiting on them online or help.
During Chicago's 91-71 loss to the Golden State Valkyries on Wednesday, Carrington was defending Cecilia Zandalicini on the perimeter when she swiped at the ball and caught the Golden State forward in the eye. The movement looked unusual because while Carrington was clearly using her right hand to go after the ball, her left hand was positioned in a way that made contact with Zandalicini's face appear difficult to avoid.
Rose that Stephanie is stuck in is she knows DiJonai is a good person, but now she's coaching people who are likely taking money from the Heritage Foundation, has a large MAGA racist fan base, and they didn't like that she defended DiJonai.
Take personally any suggestions that I don't 100% always have my players back.
Men should not play sports against women. I'm not going to get into all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world today. If anybody thinks that, I think they're stupid. I'm not.
The ball appeared physically impossible to reach without going through her face. That is the assessment from Outkick, a sports media outlet that has closely followed every development in this controversy. The incident also looked remarkably similar to the moment Carrington poked Caitlin Clark in the eye during the 2024 postseason, an incident that fueled the tension between Carrington and the Fever fanbase, a rivalry that clearly has not disappeared.
They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player, she makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of DJ Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails, she's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same SWAT and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty plays, and it's fine. The NBA...
Same move, a different year and a different player, yet the same outcome, no flagrant foul. Later in that same game, Carrington struck Golden State guard Tiffany Hayes in the face with a stray hand as Hayes drove for a layup. After experiencing it herself, Hayes also took to social media to comment on the earlier Sophie Cunningham incident.
Because this isn't, as you said, Tommy, a whoops. This is intentional. This was targeting Sophie Cunningham, and I don't care if the player is white or black. It does not matter. When you do this to somebody, this is horrible for the league. Obviously, this was done because Sophie Cunningham stood up for women, saying that men shouldn't play against women in sports because there is obviously a chromosome advantage, just like you see with steroids, a chemical advantage.
The Valkyries veteran still finished the layup, but immediately went down afterward. Thankfully, she avoided an injury, and the officials reviewed the play for a possible flagrant foul on Carrington before ultimately ruling it a common foul. That made 2 above-the-neck hits in the same game, with 0 flagrant fouls. Carrington received only 1 technical for arguing with a referee, while the WNBA has yet to announce any additional discipline for the incidents.
White, I've been a defender, the coach of the Fever. Get her out of there. Get her out of there. Fire her ass today. I don't want her back on that bench. Stop defending the other players. Oh, she plays hard, DJ. That's just her being her. You see Caitlin in the press conference almost cover her ears and her eyes. Defend your players. First of all, you're wrong. It was a dirty play. She's gone. But when do you ever see in like the NBA a coach not defend their own players? She hasn't done it with Caitlin when Caitlin got...
At one point in the fourth quarter, Carrington complained to a game official about a Valkyries fan sitting courtside. The fan was removed from the area, but was eventually allowed to return after Carrington's complaint was determined to be unfounded. A Valkyries team official also confirmed that the allegation had no basis.
I'm never going to think it's all right for men to play sports against women. And I don't even think that's controversial. That's the thing that's funny. Like some of this stuff make, like when you see these debates on television, like, yeah, men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. I don't want to hear you try to explain it to me. No, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to argue with you. Men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. There's a lot of we can argue over. That ain't...
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark.
Shaquille O'Neal has built much of his post-playing legacy around speaking his mind and calling things exactly as he sees them. He called Caitlin Clark the Real deal after admitting he initially doubted her, and he has openly acknowledged that players try to rough her up. He also signed Angel Reese to Reebok and said he would protect the athletes he represents. That standard of protection, competing hard while still respecting the rules, is one Carrington has repeatedly crossed, not just once or twice, but through a documented pattern over multiple years that now includes face contact involving at least 4 players across 3 different franchises.
DiJonai, did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her, so I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
Carrington infamously gave Caitlin Clark a black eye after poking her with her fingernails during a playoff game between Clark's Indiana Fever and Carrington's Connecticut Sun in September. After the incident, Carrington was seen laughing with teammate Marina Mabrey. She appeared to laugh about leaving one of the biggest stars in women's basketball with a black eye. Later, she went on Instagram Live and accused a white Uber driver of racial hostility. She also wore a Donald Trump-themed tour shirt into a professional arena and later called on WNBA players to take action against policies from the Trump administration during a press conference.
Privilege comment. I would actually say that this is black privilege, to be totally honest with you, because her posting this white racist comment right after assaulting Sophie Cunningham on the court is actually black privilege because she knows the WNBA won't do a single thing of significance about it. And imagine if the roles were reversed. If Sophie made a comment similar to this, then she'd likely never play.
Then she clotheslined Cunningham on a breakaway and posted white privilege from the locker room. After that, she hit Xanda Lassini in the eye with a hand that appeared unable to be reaching for the ball, followed by another face hit on Hayes during a layup. She also had a fan removed from Chase Center after making a complaint that was reportedly unfounded. In just 4 days, DiJonai Carrington hit 3 players in the face, including a flagrant foul against Sophie Cunningham and an eye poke involving the Golden State Valkyries. Despite all of this, the WNBA has still not announced any additional discipline.
Women are 51% of the population. We need to start acting like it. Boycott the WNBA. They don't know what a woman is. They don't know how to protect women in girls' sports. And the WNBA, the W that stands for woman, not trans, that starts with a T. Woman. Y'all don't know what that is? Boycott them. Our girls deserve fairness in their sports and in the locker room. And I'm just having it really up to here with the WNBA and the cowardice. And every fucking WNBA player that says, oh, I don't mind a trans on a team with me, you're fucking lying. You haven't had it. You haven't experienced having a male in the locker room with you. I have. It is fucking demeaning. It crosses our boundaries. It disregards our privacy and what we actually want as women. Fuck the WNBA and any other sports league that allows men to play with women. Boycott.
One fan argued that Carrington should have received 2 flagrant fouls and been ejected from the game. Another warned that if the league refuses to intervene, players may eventually start taking matters into their own hands, creating complete chaos.
I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Griners of the world, you know, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
You know, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulders.
A third fan commented that players should not be allowed to have nails like that because they can be dangerous in basketball. Another user compared Carrington to the WNBA's version of Draymond Green, saying she will be both hated and celebrated but will never stop playing that way. Some former players and coaches have also defended her style, especially when the incidents involve white players. Then came the message that spread across social media, "Get this woman out of basketball." Jason Whitlock, who predicted months ago that Carrington would seriously injure someone, immediately returned to the story after the Valkyries game. His earlier warning about Cunningham now has people pointing to Zandalicini and Hayes as well. Whitlock argued that the WNBA was warned on August 8th but failed to take action, and just 4 days later, Carrington was involved in 2 more face contact incidents in the same game. Supporters of Sophie Cunningham say these events prove her concerns were justified. After 3 players were hit in the face within 4 days and no meaningful additional discipline was announced, critics are questioning how long the WNBA can remain silent. If the league refuses to step in, some are asking whether players will eventually start policing themselves. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments.